The NBA draft was held virtually this week. It was a very momentous occasion for a lot of these players because we've never seen something like this. We've never seen something like this where it's been virtual, where you haven't seen the commissioner and the players being able to interact. I believe Adam Silver said something about a party that was going to happen at some point for these guys whenever COVID's over. So they have that to look forward to. But it was really interesting to see some of the decisions that were made. Real quickly, before we get into the top 10, which we're going to go through, what were your guys' just initial thoughts about the draft and the way it went down? Simon.
Oh, okay. I was going to give the loser teams the floor first. But, I mean, this year's draft for me, it wasn't very exciting at all. Like, there was no consensus first-round pick for real besides LaMelo, and even he was iffy sometimes. I just didn't – this draft had no pizzazz for me, no star power.
Andrew, what about you?
A lot of it.
What did you think?
It was fun. I mean, I had fun. Even though I wasn't there. Normally I would be fun, there. Though? Don't worry about it. The point was that it's different, man. Like, you know, like just I miss like watching the players walk across. They get to shake the commissioner's hand. They get to remind me how much taller they are than me. And I like being able to see the fans, you know, like react when their team drafts a player that they don't approve of, and then they get booed and the guys go and become a superstar until they ask for a trade years later and go help another team be a playoff team.
Big shout out to Michael Rappaport for Who the Fuck is Tingus Pingus from back in 2016 when they drafted Kristaps Porzingis.
You guys didn't deserve the unicorn.
You guys actually did not deserve Kristaps Porzingis.
Didn't deserve the unicorn. That was not some cheese for you.
Let's actually talk about the draft. So let's go through it and go through all the picks. So I'm just going to read them out 1 through 10. Number 1, Anthony Edwards went number 1 overall. There was some talk about possibly LaMelo Ball going in that spot, but apparently neither LaMelo nor James Wiseman worked out with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Number 2, James Wiseman went for the Warriors on the same day they found out about Klay Thompson's injury, which we're going to be talking about later on in the show. Number 3, LaMelo Ball to the Hornets. Patrick Williams to the Bulls, a very interesting pick we're going to get into. Isaac Okoro, fuck to my Cavs, god damn it. And then we had Onyeka Ngakwu going to the Atlanta Hawks at number 6. So let's just go through some of these just individually. So, Simon, what did you think about Anthony Edwards going number 1?
I mean, you know me. I'm a Timberwolves fan. Big fan over there. Love D'Lo, love Cat. But I just think we needed a real – I like Malik Beasley at that position for real. I really like Malik Beasley. I see a lot in Malik Beasley. I think he's really good. I don't think you need Anthony Edwards. I think we needed a small forward, to be honest with you. We could have gone and got somebody like an Obi Toppin, who's a power forward. Well, we could have made him a small forward. I would much rather had him than any other than Anthony Edwards. He just doesn't fit our system. I just don't know how it's going to fit over there.
Andrew,
Kid can score, though.
Andrew, what about you? What did you think about Anthony Edwards going number 1 overall?
I didn't think too much about it, only because like this draft was so up in the air and everything like that. And when you had to weigh the pros and cons relative to the team that was picking, you have Minnesota. They already have a big man. So right off the bat, you know, Karl Anthony Towns is young enough. They're not going to move off of Karl Anthony Towns. So at that point, you figure they're going to go with a small forward, but there was no clear-cut small forward in this draft to be taken at that position. So at that point, you have to ask yourself, if you're Minnesota, do we go with a guard because the league is a guard-oriented league? Or do we go with the power forward? Obviously, you know, there was a lot of speculation that LaMelo could have went number 1, but
LaMelo could have been the small forward.
We got to see Anthony Edwards, and just based off of his game and everything, based off of what you saw in college, I just think that, and this is something that, you know, you're going to start seeing a lot of, which is that they're going to take the college guy over the European guy almost all the time, because we're seeing the college guy play more. You know, there wasn't much about LaMelo. Yes, LaMelo did have the hype, but once again, college is still viewed differently than the league he was playing in Europe. So that's why I think he ultimately got the number 1 pick over LaMelo.
And what's your take on that first pick, though?
The first pick, Anthony Edwards, it was the right pick to make. It was the right pick to make for them. Because, listen.
You really think so?
Yes, I 100% think so. So, if you're Minnesota, one thing that you have to worry about. So
I
you
gotta
already
hear
have.
this. I gotta hear this.
You're if you listen, you definitely would hear
Gotta hear
it.
this.
So the thing with the Timberwolves is they already have the center position figured out with Cat, and Cat's going to be the leader. You're going to run the ball through Cat, and you're going to be doing a lot of stuff with D'Angelo Russell. He's going to be leading your backcourt. He's going to be the primary ball handler. You need someone to fill out the gap in between. You need someone who is going to play defense. You need someone who's going to be able to come and score off the ball. And Anthony Edwards right now is that guy. You know, LaMelo Ball, as we know, let me finish. As we know, LaMelo Ball, great. He's probably the best prospect in this draft. I think that's undebatable. LaMelo Ball was the best prospect in this draft. But his primary problem was he wasn't able to show that he could be a scorer off the ball. He wasn't able to prove that he can score, at will, like some of the other people in this draft, like Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards has that ability to score already, and he can probably improve on that. He's a better all-around player right now, I would say, than some of these other guys. So Anthony Edwards was a good pick. Could they have done better? Here's the thing. You put LaMelo Ball in that spot, it would have been, I think, just as good a pick for them. Because then it depends on the strategy they want to use. Their strategy right now is we're going to use D'Angelo Russell as our primary ball handler. We're going to be able to feed Cat, and Anthony Edwards takes some of the pressure off Cat because he doesn't have to do as much now. Now he has someone who's going to be able to take some of the pressure off. So that's the way I see it, and that's one of the things that I'm kind of like. That's one of the reasons why I'm kind of like very hopeful about Timberwolves. Way more hopeful than I am about the Cavs because we're gonna suck for like the next 15 to 20 years.
But Omer, I must tell you, Omer, listening to that spiel you just gave about my Timberwolves, man, with that first pick, I must tell you that was saltier than this chip that I'm eating right here. That was the worst take of my team I think I've ever heard. We do not need Anthony Edwards. I love the kid. Love what he brings to the table. Rest in peace to his mom and grandma. Rest in peace. But my man, you can go play with Colin Sexton and them boys. You think Minnesota is in a win now? Win now. Win now. Are we trading Anthony Edwards? What do you think? Are we trading him? Are we developing that?
Win now.
What moves do we need to make?
How would you be in a win now situation? You guys drafted #1 overall for a reason. You're not in a win now mode.
We are in win now mode.
How are you in a win now mode when you're drafting #1 overall?
Because at the end of the day, I'm a D'Lo fan. Wherever D'Lo goes, we want to win now. I've heard from D'Lo myself. We want to win now.
Andrew, thoughts?
See, this is part of the issue. Whenever you have a draft where there's no clear-cut #1, there's always going to be scrutiny with the #1 pick. It's always going to be, had it been LaMelo Ball, you'd have people saying, oh, it should have been Anthony Edwards. When you look at both their games, like we know LaMelo, we know he can score. We know LaMelo, he's Showtime. We know LaMelo, everywhere he goes, the camera's going to go, the media's are going to follow him because that's what he's created for himself. But you also have to think about it this way, right? Whatever Minnesota's trying to do, I don't necessarily disagree that Minnesota is trying to win now because I think every team is trying to win now. You could even, if you look at some of the moves that my team made literally yesterday with freeing up $40 million in cap space and this rumors about Russell Westbrook, I think every team, even the teams that we're picking in the top 10 are trying to win now. So I just think when you put them both next to each other, Anthony Edwards was the safer pick. And in a clear-cut draft, when there is no clear #1, you have to kind of go with the safer pick. Hey, guys, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. For more content, please hit that notification bell, comment, subscribe, and everything like that. And just remember, keep it real.